as I look at the pedo bear of peace. I actually have no idea what this bear actually symbolizes. You know, in Shibuya they have that Hachiko, whatever, the dog. And here at the Tokyo station they have this bear. I have no idea what it represents. It could very well be what the pedo bear is based on. He protects all the lollies in Japan. I don't know. Anyway, so a random question though. People ask, you know, I feel like I get asked this every trip. Do you think you could actually live in Japan? And the thing is, again, I guess it's like, dude, sure, I think I could probably live in Japan if I wasn't sick, health-wise, right? Like, the thing is, I don't feel uncomfortable living in Japan. You know, my Japanese isn't perfect. My Japanese sucks, you know what I mean? But I can have conversations, you know, here and there a little bit with people. I would like to get better. Of course, living in Japan would be nice. I should probably eventually just get a real Japanese girlfriend. That would be good practice. But, you know, the point is, do you think you could live in Japan? I think like a normal person says that because they think of convenience. Well, Japan is not an inconvenient country, I don't think, right? You know, things are generally pretty convenient. Things are pretty easygoing, right? You can live in a cheap place in Japan that would be a shithole in America, and you can feel safe, right? Because although, again, I don't consider Japanese people to necessarily be nice per se, but in terms of being non-malicious, yes, Japanese people, you don't feel in danger, you know what I mean? Like, again, you can live in a shithole in Japan, and you can feel safe, right? Which is nice. Of course, it's smaller than America, but, you know, I'm a pretty simple person, but really, again, excuse me, when I get asked these questions, it's just like, dude, health is the problem. You know, again, I've been here for about 6 weeks, just about going on 6 weeks or something like that. And again, the problem is just that, guess what? I've spent most of the time in bed again because of my health. You know, the whole dying stuff, doesn't matter. Like, it's not necessarily like, oh, hey, I'm in Japan, I'm not sick anymore. No, that's not how, you know, the world works. That's not, you know what I mean? You don't go to a different country and you're suddenly not sick. That's just not the way things go. So, you know, I've spent the majority of the time in bed again, which sucks. And, you know, again, I keep thinking that I get these opportunities to stay for free in Japan. Besides that one, you know, but which I told that story. That was a clusterfuck, you know what I mean? But every other time that I've stayed in Japan, including this time, has been for free. And I'm lucky enough that I get to stay in Japan for free, right? But even if I did have to pay, like, regularly, if you think about rent, you could live in a, you know, not super nice place, let's say, and be pretty comfortable because of Japan is a comfortable place, you know, generally speaking. But it's the health that fucks me. That's why I just think, like, how would I do it? You know what I mean? I keep thinking I got to go back to America now, and I have to decide, what am I going to do? You know, I found out about this cancer stuff again, you know what I mean? Everything grew back. You know what I mean? Or, well, they say it's not cancer, but, you know, your body's attacking itself and it's all grown back. So who knows what we're going to do about that? Or me. You know, I say we like my doctors. My doctors are shit. This is a shit show. You know, and I always say that I wish my health was only just one thing. But, you know, I have all these autoimmune diseases. You know, and I just don't know which one is, like, the one that's really fucking me up. I keep thinking about the TRT. Do I just go back and do the TRT? Do I be like, man, do I have to get my thyroid removed again? Or do I have to do this bone marrow stuff? You know what I mean? Which I've been putting off for years now because they're like, oh, well, maybe it's a slow forming leukemia. There's not much to do, you know. Besides, you know, you usually just wait till it gets worse if that's what's going on with what it looks like. But, you know, again, it's not like I just have one problem. It's like, oh, I got this one obstacle that's keeping me from, you know, living a good life. You know, I've been in and out of the hospital my entire life, dying. Hey, here's your will, you know, just in case, blah, 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 you know, so. But in terms of, you know, if a normal person is thinking, do you think you could live in Japan? Yeah, it's very convenient. It's not, you know, I don't feel in danger here. It's nice, you know what I mean? Again, I've never been someone that's, like, super into Asian girls per se. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I guess if you're not into Asian girls, like, we got the lolicon bear again. I'm sure maybe it's a bear that actually represents something much better. I don't know, but you know what I mean. I even speaking about that, I feel like Japan is definitely a place like, bro, you know, Japanese girls are, how should I say, they don't have like that more of, say, I'm more like, personally for me, if I had a preference, right, you know, I like big lips, I like the more kind of sexy body, like a Latina body, or, you know, if I'm thinking about something like a Russian sort of thing like that, you know, but Japanese, Asian girls have never been something that I've been biased towards. But definitely when you're in Japan, I've said before that, you know, you appreciate it more, and you can see, like, I don't know, I just feel like the people that like Japanese girls, whenever I was a kid in the video game community and I saw people posting Japanese girls, they would just post anybody and anyone. But once you actually like live in Japan and come here a lot, you're like, wow, I see better looking girls than people post on the internet, like, pretty frequently, right? And, you know, of course, Korean girls, but who knows how real they are. But, you know, again, if that was something that was keeping you from coming to a country, being like, oh, I'm not attracted to this demographic of female, let's say, right? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a real Japanese girlfriend. It would be cute, right? I mean, but yeah, you know, again, could you live in Japan? Could I live in Japan? Yeah, if health wasn't a problem, yeah, I would try to take being in Japan more seriously. But, you know, that's just not how my life has turned out, I guess, if it's, you know, when people ask that thing. But I don't know. If you're to ask, is there any inconvenience things in Japan? I would say there's little things, like little inconveniences that maybe aren't talked about much. Like, so I'm still getting over this cold. I guess it's going to be going on 2 weeks now. You know, once I get sick, and I don't know if I got COVID again or a bad sinus infection or something, because I actually lost my smell again for a while, so maybe I got COVID for the 4th time for a while I'm here. But toilet paper kind of sucks in Japan. I'll say that. Like, I've been getting pretty annoyed at having to blow my nose all the fucking time, and most of the toilet paper in Japan, and even if you try to get like a more expensive, like, you know, tissue, it shreds really easy. And when you're sick all the time and blowing your nose and you're getting the flakes all over you, you know, that can be annoying. A very petty thing, right? I guess, you know what I mean? Like, those are the kind of inconveniences I think of Japan. Like, the toilet paper kind of pisses me off, right? And of course, as someone who's sick a lot, I guess it does. But, you know, again, I can't think of any real big thing that annoys me in Japan. I'd have to really, really think about it. And again, this is also coming from the perspective, though, of someone who, you know, I don't have a quotation marks real job. I'm sure, you know, having to, you know, if you had a more real job, maybe the interactions might be a little bit more annoying to you. But again, I guess, you know, just from my standpoint, again, it's the health point that is just, you know, what do I do, dude? You know what I mean? I'm always sick. I don't even get to enjoy these trips as much as I should be. You know, I have the luxury of getting to stay for free so often, right? Again, besides that one trip, which was a complete, absolute clusterfuck, you know. Still disappointed about that, but, you know, it is what it is, right? You know, so got to take the good with the bad, I guess. Anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. The end.